Okay, so finally recording. What is up, YouTube? Spawn here. Let me stand up for this because this is going to be a doozy. We have another Tekken Day Tierlist, right? I can close this door for privacy purposes. But we have another Tekken Day Tierlist. Okay. Now, this tier list is going to be a bit weird because there isn't a lot of tier lists out there currently right now. Let's fix this up real quick here. But there aren't a lot of tier lists out there because, well, people don't really know where to place things at right now, right? Has been no update in a couple of months, which is insane. The game is still in a pretty bad state right now, and there isn't really anything to go by. So a lot of people just choose to just not create a tier list, right? Oops, sorry, my bad. Let's do this, right, right. Let's do that, and then we're gonna do this. Okay. Now, on this tier list, you see that there is the lowest tier is A minus, right? That's because well, this is after season two. This is season 2.5 that we're in at. As you can see, we have Armor King right here. We have AK right there, right? AK 40. Sorry. We have Armor King here. This is season 2.5 where everybody has been toned down. Not enough. Our top tier still stay the same, but in general, everybody is toned down significantly from what they were in the beginning of season 2. It was insane, right? Mind you, this is my opinion on the tier list. Let me say that one more time. I'm going to raise my voice. This is my tier list. Heard you? Heard you. This is going to be Tekken Emperor status and above. Okay? Heard you. Right? So, again, season 2.5 here. Still, everybody is still drinking a concrete protein shake. Everybody is on codeine. Everybody is doing some drug to make them tweak out as hard as possible and just doing random bullshit still. That still applies here. Right? But nonetheless, we haven't really changed much, but let's get into a more obvious pick here, right? The stable of the game right now. The stable is she's basically the Gojo of Tekken 8 right now. She literally, well, kind of what he did. She literally like shaped how this game is being played, right? She literally, she's the staple of why this game is like this right now. Okay. The introduction of Anna is probably our most craziest DLC character ever. I'm not a Tekken player, but still, okay. I just play y'all game. Wow. Right? This character is insane. This is my kryptonite. I hate this bitch. She's not a bitch, but No, fuck that. I do not like Anna at all. She's very annoying to go up against. She has these crazy ass mix ups from fucking bazooka stance. And she still has her plus 23, plus 20 something low, which is insane. It's only minus 13, by the way. Insane to me. Crazy damage, crazy wall carry, and insane mix-ups for the caliber of or the type of character she is. You see her everywhere. Specifically, you probably saw Atif play her, and he made her shine. Right? He probably the one that put her on the map. The people, he's probably the one. We knew Anna was busted, but Atif was the one that showcased how her rush down should look like. Right? I don't even want to talk about this character. We know where this character goes. Okay. Um, Oscar. Now, this one was complete left fielder for everybody. Actually, whenever we got introduced to season 2, we was not expecting Oscar to be in our top 3, arguably top 2, depending on who you ask. But we're gonna get there soon enough. Oscar in season 1 was complete dog water. But before, this would not be A minus. This would probably be like C at best, B minus. You know what I'm saying? But now, season 2, they gave her so much shit. An install, just say goodnight. Homing high, regular hit plus on block launcher, I just hate the concept of when she has install, you have to either duck or you because you can't sidestep them. Don't even try it. You have to either duck or hold something. It should not be that way. I do not like that concept. She's one of the only characters that can like ground spike if there's a floor hazard at any given time in her combo because her ground spike is the best in the game. It is absolutely insane. Damage is crazy. She got even better walk here due to the charge normals. All this is just unnecessary, dude. Oh my goodness, bro. She just giving me PTSD. She's another one of my kryptonites, of course. It's just the top tiers in general, dude. Um, let's get a low tier in here, yeah? Who would be our first stable for the low tier? Well, not necessarily low tier, but you know. Well, let's go for an obvious one here. Devil Jin. Devil Jin is probably the most hurting character right now, right? I would say, mm, not the probably the most nerfed too. Honestly, you could debate that. In season one, Devil Jin was a fucking monster to deal with. To his hell sweep being launched, and it still was facing forward. It was a back turn, and his fucking heat smash being tracking and other bullshit. So his 50-50 really put him on the map. But then they took that away, and everybody was like, okay, they needed to go. Cool. And then they took away his floor hazard shit by nerfing everybody in general, by nerfing the stage not breaking. It was inconsistent. All because of Devil Jin, whenever he does the hell sweep, he grabs you and he breaks the fucking floor, right? They took that away from him, and we were like, all right, that's a big much. And then they nerfed his hell sweep to go into back turn. So whenever he launches you, it puts him back facing Devil Jin. And everybody was like, okay, all right, I get he was doing too much damage, but okay, I can kind of understand this. And then they just kept going. They kept going. They nerfed a lot of his string. They nerfed his 442. They fucking nerfed the tracking on his hell swoop. They fucking nerfed the tracking on his 4. Like it's just a bunch of shit. And even in season two, sure, they gave him a better launcher that's facing you, which is the hell swoop low and then the stomp, right? But for what? At what cost did he have to lose just to gain one or two things? And then they gave him the high, unblockable high that was +5, but it did a little bit of damage. But then in season 2.5, they just took everything away from him. Again, he's not necessarily unplayable, but goddamn does he feel like it, right? Goddamn does he fucking feel like it, dude. Um, let's get another low tier. No, let's get a mid tier in here. Relative mid tier. Nah, you know what? Fuck that shit. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it, right? Yeah. Oh, I forgot this nigga name. Victor. There we go. Victor is season one. He was one of the uncrowned kings of season one. They nerfed the shit out of him because obviously his one he had one of the best throws of the game to being borderline untakeable. They nerfed a lot of his shit in heat. They gave him a few things in season two, but otherwise he still stayed the same. He's very annoying. One of our knowledge checks of the game. And if you really don't know what to do against him, he will absolutely steamroll you every time. It doesn't really matter. Once you learn the matchup, he's still annoying, but he becomes manageable to deal with. He now has a leash on his neck. Okay, Victor still places high on my tier list. I will always have him there due to him being fucking annoying, and even without the knowledge check, he can still play good Tekken. Okay, very good Tekken. Uh, my curse was already on him. Yoshimitsu. Actually, nah. Yoshimitsu. Okay. Uh, let's change this up a little bit, yeah? Let's change this up a little bit. Let's do this. Just so that we can be a little bit more clear on what we're doing here, yeah? Okay? Let's do that. Okay? Because a lot of characters here are good, and I don't want to put them in A, or I believe they're still S tier, but not quite S tier status, if that makes sense. That didn't make sense, but I really hope you're on the same page. Yoshimitsu will always be a solid character to play, no matter what. At least in Tekken 8. Now, he did get nerfed to the fucking ground from season 1.5. If you remember, once they started nerfing some of our top tiers like Dragunov, Asha and Fangway a little bit, not necessarily Fangway, but even still, Yoshimitsu started to thrive. Him and Nina. Arguably, Yoshimitsu at the time was arguably top one, top two, depending on who you asked. This character was insane. Plenty of ways to go into stance and mix you up. That was plus on block. You had to play around Flash. He had amazing 50-50s and crazy damage at the wall. And he would just heal significantly. He was one of our only two healers. Oh yeah, he was one of our two healers of the game. So it was really hard to play against him because even if you got a hit off, he could just heal like 20% to 30% of that health back, depending on if he went for the most optimal healing route. Well, now it's three healers now. We have Jun, Yoshimitsu, and we have Heihachi here because he can also heal if he gets the blue sparks every time, right? But Yoshimitsu would heal a fuck ton just for hitting you. And it would make it very unfair because he was already very fucking strong. Um, then they nerfed the shit out of him. They nerfed his damage. They nerfed his plus on block stances that he can go into. They nerfed a bunch of shit on Yoshimitsu. And then season two came around. He got a few things. He got a better stance. It was plus on block, but then they stripped that away from him in season 2.5. And now he's just regular Yoshimitsu now. Still very, very strong due to you having to play around Flash. That will never be annoying. Those mental frames that he just get because Flash is there, you don't even have to use it most of the time. Just the threat of it being there automatically gives him this place right here because you now have to play his game. He can slow the pace of the game down or he can speed it up depending on his liking. It does not matter. Yoshimitsu is still a solid pick. Next character that I have here. Now, this one right here, I'm kind of confused on. Okay. Yes, this is going to be in order, but check me out, right? Brian is a weird one because he's still top three or top two to most people, right? I want to put him here. The reason why I want to put him here is because they nerfed a bunch of shit on Brian recently, right? Our last balance update, they nerfed Incinerator, they nerfed his guard crush at the wall, they nerfed his they took away his tracking on his heat activation, which was supposed to be there. Um they nerfed some of his important a lot of his important shit, right? Specifically dealing with his snake eyes, right? The regular part that didn't that the one you can guard crushing with, it doesn't wall splat. Like the normal version doesn't wall splat anymore. That's a huge nerf to Brian because it really nerfs his wall pressure. Still some of the best wall pressure in the game, but it just makes it a little bit less concerning because now it's that situation is manageable now, and they nerf the damage on if you fully commit to the charge unblockable into wall splat, you get significantly less damage now and less OP due to that situation. So that really hurt Brian, right? But for the sake of the people, I'm going to do this here, right? Let's just keep it. Let's stick to the script here, yeah. Even though this is my tier list, but still, you could place them either one. You could do this if you wanted to. I wouldn't be mad at you, but let's just do this for the sake of the game, right? Next one, let's get another high. Let's get a high mid tier here, right? Or like a not the top tiers, but right here in S is where we want them to be at, right? Let's do uh shit, who can we put up here? Where is he? Let's fuck it. Let's just do it, right? Law. Not only is Law still an amazing character, he's been an amazing character throughout the lifespan of Taken 8, right? Not only did Ninja Killer win the tournament with him, but he absolutely steamrolled everybody. I mean, he had trouble with the Leo player, but nonetheless, he damn near went like he. I don't think he lost the game against anybody outside the Leo player, right? Don't quote me on that. But Law is a really good staple to go with right now. Oh my goodness, so many people hitting me up right now. Law is a really good staple right now. I really don't like the change that they did for him in Heat with the nunchucks. That every time he uses nunchucks, excuse me, I got the hiccups. That he gets Heat back. I think that was a very, very dumb change because Law in Heat is Not very fun to go up against. His damage is fucking insane. Pressure is insane. He just plays really solid Tekken on top of that, and he can absolutely fucking knowledge check the shit out of you depending on what the situation is, right? Like when people use like fucking certain moves and then they do down 1-4 and shit like that. Dumbass shit, right? Yeah, I wouldn't say a knowledge check, but he can definitely be hard to handle if you have Law in the right hands, right? Very, very solid pick. Law is definitely a contender for my top 10. Let's keep going with the top 10, right? Fuck it. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. Listen, Alyssa. Alyssa is still arguably in my top 10. Now, I will say that the nerf to her chainsaw mix has been nerfed significantly. That hurt her a lot, right? They reduced the amount of frame advantage she has whenever she's in chainsaw stance with the high and the mid. And they also made the low less damaging. And they also made it to where the high chainsaw stance and the mid chainsaw stance have significantly more pushback than what they did. So she can't continuously repeat the situation, right? That hit her very, very hard, right? But then they just end up replacing it with the fucking helicopter bullshit that gave her in season 2 and shit like that. Whatever, yada yada yada, right? Still has insane damage. Still is a fucking crayon eater till this day. Brain dead ass crayon eating ass character, and the players that play her still has insane damage, still has insane Oki. Nothing really changed about Alyssa outside of the fact that she can pressure you less. Outside of that, nothing really fucking changed hardly at all. Okay, let's fill in this gap right here, yeah? This is going to be a hard one. I have to do it though. Shaheen. Now I know this one might be another tricky one, but um, Shaheen lost a lot. Shaheen lost a lot. In season 1, Shaheen was fucking amazing. A good contender for top 5 if you wanted to say that. I wouldn't be mad at you. Around like season 1.5, whenever Yoshimitsu and Nina had the top spots, fucking Shaheen was right there following behind them. Even whenever Dragunov, Fangway, and Archer Center was in our top seats, Shaheen was right there behind them. But now in season 2, they got rid of a bunch of shit. Season 2.5 is even worse, right? He did get a new low. He did get a few new moves, right? He got an extra heat smash. He got the low heat smash now, which is a new addition. You can still have access to his old heat smash with the mid, and he comes down with the fucking hands, and then he's in stealth stance now, or yeah, stealth stance now. You still have access to that one, so he has 2 heat smash now. Very good, cool. Until you realize is the compensations that they gave him over the nerfs don't match. They got rid of one of his good mid heating gauges, and then they replaced it with the stealth down fort 4-3. Like, who's going to use that? Nobody's going to use that. It's a 15 framer, but he doesn't even have the frames to do the 15 framer. And now it's negative like 13 on block. So you just die for it anyway. That was a horrible power what do you call it? Whenever you transition power, whenever you nerf them and then you give them something, right? That was a horrible decision. Not only that, the thing that made Shaheen top tier or very hard to deal with was his guard crush situation, right? What they did to nerf that is not only did they nerf the input buffering window, so it's significantly more smaller. So whenever you do things like down 4-4-1 sneak and you cancel it, and when you cancel, you hit down back, and you already be holding charge for the guard crush. That no longer works anymore. Well, I think it still works, but it's very, very linear. It doesn't even work for any other situation outside of that one now. And not only that, they nerfed the absolute shit out of 4-2-3 from the guard crush situation. Before it would just put you on your ass so that Shaheen can loop it. Was it a fucked up situation? Absolutely. But they went about it wrong. Instead of them nerfing the guard crush itself, they end up nerfing 4-2-3. So now Shaheen has no kind of wall splatting normal at all. The only wall spike normal he has is down back 2-1. But we all know the weakness of that is that the second hit is duckable. Sure, he can go into stance after the first hit, but that's not even concluded in most Shaheen's game plans. His 4-2-3 is what made him really good because he was plus 1 million on hits. And you had to get off of a situation that was his archetype. That was his thing. He's the one that played some of the best ground Tekken. And now that he don't have his 12 frame wall splatter anymore, it completely got rid of his. Not only did it get rid of some of his damage, it got rid of the wall slatting properties, and it got rid of some of his Oki because they go so far fucking way, and it also got rid of the guard crushing loops or the guard breaking loops. They just completely took away his identity. That's what Shaheen was, right? And now he's just here. So he's still a decent pick, which is the reason why you see Lohai doesn't play him anymore, right? But the only one that plays him is Sophia, a black soap. I forgot his name. The man Shaheen played. He's also from uh not Pakistan. I forget where he's from. But anyway, that's enough about Shaheen. Let's get another low tier in here. Yeah. Um, I still think Jack is pretty bad. I still think Jack is pretty bad. The only thing that made Jack good in season two was the fact that 2-1 jailed into Make Some Noise. Make Some Noise is the clap, right? Make some noise with the clap. Once Jack did 2-1, he would hit up 1+2, something like that, and it would transition to Make Some Noise, and that was a bug in the game to where 2-1 jailed into Make Some Noise, which it shouldn't happen. They took that away, and they also took away some of the frames, some of the plus frames from Make Some Noise. It was at first I think it was like +9, +8, some insane number like that, and now it's only like +4, right? And nothing jails anymore. So Jack's whole identity is he has all these plus on block moves, but he has no low. He has no good low. He sucks at lows, right? So whenever he enters uh the stance with Gamma Howl there, he doesn't have a low from there. So that makes his 50-50 significantly, or that makes his 50-50s insufficient, right? Every one of these characters have some type of low within their stance, right? Even all Shisenda does. Where is she? She's right here. Even all Shisenda has a low from her stance. And she's one of our worst characters in the game. I wouldn't say like bottom five or anything like that, but we'll get to her whenever we get there, right? So with Jack as a Jack main, not me, but as Jack main, I'm speaking from first person for you guys that are Jack mains. Um, you really have to do a lot of condition and mental stack to actually make Jack work. And being big as he is, big as a fucking house, he gets extra combo damage done on him. His sidestep was buffed in season two, but that still doesn't matter because, well, pretty sure you already know everybody has crazy tracking. And it's really, it just doesn't go well. It just doesn't pair well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jackman, but if y'all make it to Tekken Emperor and above, I commend you very much, very much. Let's get another mid tier in here, yeah. Lily. Now Lily is a weird one. Um, Lily would be kind of a knowledge check, depending on who you ask. Before she was a knowledge check for me, but you remember in season one, Lily was insane, dude. She was insane. She was one of the uncrowned queens of the game, right? Feisty rabbit stance, her 3-2, which is the mid into the mid that was safe on block, by the way. You can't duck it. You had to parry. So if your character didn't have a parry, you struggled with Lily. And there was also her heat engager too. I think it's 3-2, 3-1, something like that, right? Whenever she does the back foot kick and then she turns around and hits you with the palm, right? I think that was mid. I'm pretty sure it was mid because you couldn't duck the second hit. Um, Now, of course, a little bit after the tournament, they had one character that won with Lily. They nerfed the shit out of Feisty Rabbit. They nerfed the situation that she can get from Feisty Rabbit because you remember whenever she knocked you down, she did a low, then she would hop back, and then you had to guess high mid. You had to guess from the wall splatting mid, or you had to, which is plus on block by the way, and you had to guess from the low. That was relatively safe for what it was because she got a follow up from it. She got the little cartwheel kick. Wow, right? They nerfed the fuck out of that situation and nerfed a bunch of other shit from it to the point where 3-2, 3-1, whatever the string is, you no longer have to parry it now. So if your character doesn't even have a parry, you can just, it's punishable now. That really hurt her a lot in the feisty rabbit change, right? Other than that, Lily was, she turned into a very risky character. She had the low heat smash there, but outside of that, Lily has to play a little bit more riskier with cartwheel because she used to be able to get away with that free. Now she doesn't. right? So Lily has to try really hard to open you up. Not open you up, but she has to try really hard in order to make it count, right? She can't just do the cartwheel bullshit anymore that was safe at the time. Now it's punishable, and she's left in back turn. So depending on who you are, you can get a crazy amount of damage on her, right? But still a good staple for the game. If Lily was the best character in the game right now, the game would be amazing, amazing. But again, for the Lily players, I respect y'all. I still love y'all, right? Now for the players that I don't love, you ready for this? Yeah, yeah, you already know where I'm going with this one. Uh, I'm coughing from this nigga. This nigga already gave me COVID. I ain't even say nothing about the nigga already. Damn. Harang is a nightmare to play against right now. He's been a nightmare to play against since season one. But of course, in season one, I had Harang all the way down here. I had Harang very low because he wasn't really that good. He is our biggest knowledge check of the game, right? And then season two came around and they gave him a bunch of shit. A bunch of shit. More specifically noted, Hallway's weakness was he was easy to step. He was very linear. He had all these plus frames, but he was very linear nonetheless. And then they gave him the homing low. Not only that, whenever he enters heat, you cannot press against Harwain. 10 frame counter hit launcher, 12 frame counter hit launcher, 14 frame counter hit launcher. It doesn't matter. Once he hit those flappy kicks, just put your controller down. It doesn't matter. He's plus as fuck on every single thing. This is not a good combination. Not only are you a knowledge check, it's always your turn, but I cannot press into you and you're hard to hit. That is a horrible combination, which is the reason why he's in my top five. I do not like playing against this character anymore. Before, I would destroy most Halloween players that come in because they would just do random shit. But now, that random shit is actually real now. I actually cannot contest him. I can't sidestep him anymore. And it's very frustrating to deal with. Let's finish the top five up here, yeah? Nina. Nina needs no introduction. Nina in season 1.5 was arguably top one, top two, depending on if you prefer Yoshimitsu or not. Still is one of our heavy hitters of the game. Still has access to a bunch of shit that she had. She didn't really change much in season two. They gave her some things, but she still relatively stayed the same. Sidestep one is still a bullshit ass move. She still has her follow ups from there, and all of them, most of them counter hit. The mid option is a little bit more unsafe, but still counter hit. She has the high counter hit from sidestep one, and it's plus 10, by the way. She still does crazy damage at the fucking wall, still has really good wall carry, still torques on you every fucking time. Nina stayed the same. She didn't really change. Bars. Okay. Let's go to our next character here. Where should we go next? Let's start filling up a little bit of S minus, yeah? Uh where is he? Steve Fox. Come here. I'm talking to you, my boy. Actually, no. Let's do this. Steve Fox is really good. Really, really good. Season one, complete dog water. Season two, really, really good. They gave him a bunch of stuff. I do not like the fact that when he enters Lionheart, he can do Lionheart 2 and still be able to take his turn back with like an armor or a certain shit because it's so safe on block. I hate that change, dude. This fucking dude will chase you down while swinging. I do not like it. I learned how to Korean backdash. It's not good, but it's there. And against this character, and this game is absolutely useless because you cover the same amount of distance if you just regularly backdash. But even still, no matter which option you do, Steve Fox is already right there while swinging. Well, Five Fox Fire, Five Fox Five, what else? Y'all know what string I'm talking about. Whenever he hits you with the five piece combo, smash, right? He just chases you down. It doesn't matter how far you are. Steve Fox will chase you down while he's fucking swinging. You can't really sidestep him because he'll just up back to you, boom, and then he'll fucking hit you with the Lionheart too, right? And then he has all these highs, so you think that you can duck him, and then he just hits you with the cowboy, bow, counter hit your shit. Steve has came a long way. He became a lot more oppressive than what he was in Tekken 7. He's supposed to be a defensive character that thrive off of your whiff punishes, but instead they just gave him a bunch of bullshit, launching bullshit, plus on block bullshit. He's still annoying to deal with, right? Still very annoying to deal with. Let's get another top tier in here. Claudio. Do I want to play Claudio? No. Right here. Claudio has always been a good staple of Tekken. Tekken 7, he ran pretty good. And in Tekken 8, he's still doing his thing, right? He now takes the spot of Shaheen right now. He's still in the same spot. He's still a good contender for my top 10. He plays regular Tekken, but the moment he has Starburst up, the game changes. You're scared to duck those certain moves now because you're afraid that he might stagger it and then hit your ass with the DP or hit your ass with 4 1+2. He's very, very good. Amazing fucking damage. He's still one of our heaviest hitters in the game, getting like what? If he hits you with 4 1+2 1+2, the one where he fucking spins you on your neck meat, he has you breakdancing, he can get potentially up to 101 damage if he's still in heat. It is insane how much damage this dude can dish out whenever he has these safe on block launchers. Regular hit, by the way. He's still very impressive, really good at hitting gauges, really good at the wall still. He still has access to back one, which is one of the best normals in the game. Nothing changed about Claudio. He's still there. And while we finishing, let's continue with Lars. Lars is another heavy hitter. Honestly, we can do this if you really want to. I don't mind if you do that. Lars is still one of our heavy, or not still, sorry, because in season one he was okay at the time before they made the dynamic entry 3 stance +5 instead of keeping it +3, so it's counterplay 2. But anyway, that's not the point. Lars has been upgraded even more after they just made a cut. After they first started making these casino changes, and in season 2, that's when they just fucking got rid of everything. Lars has everything now. He still has access to dynamic entry 3. That's +5 if you transition into silent entry, and he gets silent entry 2. They gave him a fucking homing. I believe it's running 1+2, running 2, the one where he fucking swings his hand around and it's homing and it puts him into stance, and he's plus on block. They gave him a low 4-4, I believe 4-4-4-2. That puts him into stance. It's so low. They gave him a bunch of 50-50 casino bullshit into stance. Now, before you, Lawrence was literally the worst character you could do this to because he's so stance heavy. So mix up all these lows, counter hit, launching low. Come on, dude. And then whenever he transitions, he's charging at you with armor, and it's like 17 frames into stance, and you have to guess he's in heat. So if you eat that mid, you're eating a gazillion damage, dude. He hits fucking hard. They gave him the fucking new crazy ender. I think it's like what, down 3 1+2 or something like that. Whenever he fucking kicks you at the ground, fucking y'all know what I'm talking about, bro. I think it's down 3 1+2, down 4 1+2, some shit like that. It's insane. His damage is crazy. Another heavy hitter of the fucking game, dude. I don't even want. He's another annoying, very hard character to deal with, right? Let's get another mid tier in here, somewhat. Uh, this one is a bit different. Okay, this one can be a little bit different because he can also skip the tier list if he wants to due to his 50-50 potential. Okay, depending on how you use him, well, you always use him as the 50-50 type, but nonetheless, um, he will remain down here. Not saying that he's bad, but just because the other characters are just way stronger, right? Same thing with Lily. Lily is a really good character, but just everybody else is just strong as shit, right? But when it comes to Eddie, Eddie is our most potent 50-50, right? High risk, high reward, right? The only thing that puts Eddie this low is that we have another character that also has the same archetype, but they're significantly more safer, right? Outside of whenever he gets like buffs up and he can like launch you with the upside down kick, right? Whenever he's in handstand stance, oh my goodness, say that 5 times fast, right? But outside of that, Eddie is very, very high risk, high reward, right? And sometimes he don't really get much reward from it. But nonetheless, if you can put your character, if you can knock somebody down with Eddie and keep the blender going, you can steamroll the match, right? So I'm going to give him the A+ spot right here, okay? Let's get another low tier in here, okay? Right now. I'm sorry. Even after the season 2 changes, it still didn't help. It still doesn't help. Now, granted, she got some good moves. Like whenever she enters heat and she gets access to the mid, that like she does the fucking 1+2, but it's plus on block, and all the lightning strikes down. It's like plus a million. She can enter the stance, right? Where she like moving around and shit. That's cool. They also gave her the low that transition into stance. Is it Sentai stance or does she transition to rap stance? I'm not sure which one she transitioned into, but they still gave her that, even though that wasn't supposed to be what she was supposed to have. But that's nonetheless. Now, in season one, whenever she got first introduced in Tekken 8, she was the most popular character in the game, the most played, but her win rate was worse in the game. Worst win rate in the game. Literally, she was the worst win rate character in the game. And even now, with all the buffs and nerfs, of course, she's not the most popular character in the game anymore. That would go to Armor King, obviously, because he's a new addition. King is very popular still, but she has lost number one. I don't think she's even top five anymore. Most popular characters. Still a cool character, but even still, whenever she lost most popular character tag, she still has the tag of having the worst win rate in the game. And I'm starting to know that, or I'm starting to think that wasn't a fluke, right? Raina just doesn't. I don't know, dude. She just doesn't do what I would expect her to do. Whenever you see her visually, she just mm. She wasn't supposed to have any good lows until they gave her one in season two, but then they kind of nerfed a little bit. They nerfed a bunch of shit about Raina. She's just a little bit passive. 4-2, 4-4-2 is still one of her best moves, but even still, that can be compromised very easily. So she has to like make really big risk and do the armored move and stuff like that. And it's just too much that she has to do to break your defense, right? And she's point blank every time she does this, by the way. Um, hmm. I want to talk about this really quick. Raven has been the most underrated character for so long. The entirety of Tekken 8 lifespan, all the Raven mains have shitted on their own character. Very underrated. In season 2, they gave him the bullshit teleporter. They gave him a 15 frame launcher. I mean, he had that before season 2, but they were still a new addition to him, fairly new. And they gave him all the new teleport bullshit that they just gave him. That's plus on block. Now it's neutral. The thing about Raven that makes him very annoying and very underrated right now is he has checks like down for 2-4, right? Whenever he hits you with the uppercut and he ends his back turn, they're both supposed to be checks and they're both launchers. Why? If you do down for 2 on its own, he can still combo you. But then he also has the follow up kick that is also launching. Like it's a check. Why do both of them launch? Not to mention, I believe it's down forward two, down back two with the elbow into high that puts him into back turn stance. It's tracking. No matter where you go, he will find you. I believe Raven is one of the only characters. Don't quote me on this, but Raven is one of the only characters that could get you to stand still. Not from a stance, not from, oh, you ate this, now you have to hold the fit. No. Raven's tracking it so good to the point where you just, because you can't move. You just don't move. He kills you if you sidestep him. He still has one of the best armors in the game because it tracks so fucking well and it wall splats from so fucking far. I'm just glad it doesn't heat engage, but still though, the way how armors are structured in Tekken 8, that's not a good look. And then on top of the teleporting bullshit that he has this move where he does I believe it's 2-3 from back turn. I think, right? 2-3, the elbow, then he kicks you with the high, then he teleports from the air. That jails. Why? And it's neutral on block. Then when he teleports down from the air, he's in back turn stance with that 8 frame high. So technically he's +2. Don't contest with him because he will hit you with the fucking low. That counter hits and he puts you back into back turn situation. You can't side to because he has an option from back turn that's plus fucking from the stance whenever he fucking does the ninjutsu symbol, fucking +5, homing mid. Oh sorry, homing high, right? He has access, bro. He's just too much right now. The Raven player's been shitting on their own character for so long, they don't even know what to think anymore. If you're a Raven player, you want to scrap, I'll leave my gamer tag in the description for you. I'll drop you off any time of the day. But anyway, that's not my point. Raven deserves this spot, and he's a good contender to be competitive as because he plays Tekken 8. Tracking, homing, 50-50 bullshit, try to hit me, I'm hard to hit, all this shit, right? Let's go for another one. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. I didn't even eat shit. Clive. A lot of people think Clive fell off. He did not, by the way. He did not fall off. He still has access to. He still is untouchable. He's still hard to hit. He's so fucking hard to hit, dude. It's not even funny. This man is so hard to hit that you have to play around his parry. His parry parries everything. Parries parry what? His parry parries everything. Punches, kicks, you name it. Hop kicks. He even though I'm airborne, he will still parry you. And it's guaranteed, by the way. It's not like a Sabaki where if they attack you, just no. He parries every fucking thing. His parry reacts like Lee's parry, but except it parries punches and kicks, and it's so annoying to deal with. He's so hard to fucking hit. On top of it, now they got rid of some of his oppressiveness, but he's still there. He still does a giga fuck ton of damage. Clive is still. I don't know why people think Clive fell off. I don't know why I don't see much Clive players because oh his mids are his downfall one isn't safe anymore. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on, cut that out, dude. Or his down, or what was the sword swing? The double sword swing that he engaged. It's not safe anymore. Come on, bro. This shit has exceptional range, right? You know what? Let's finish off this bracket here. Yeah, King, annoying as fuck. Another character that's very hard to fucking hit due to like fucking flex armor, right? Flex, he still has crazy armor. And then in season two, they gave him a stupid ass string, even though they nerfed it. His wall carry isn't much. Fucking giant swing is fucking annoying because they're both homing now. They're both homing now. You can't tell which one is which. Fucking shining wizard and fucking giant swing. They're both homing, and it's very annoying to deal with because he just runs at you and you don't know what to do, and then you try to duck him and then he just fucking launches you. Fucking hop kicks you for no reason because he's low elo. But you know, that's not the point. Season 2.5, they sped up his full crouch 2, his full crouch low, the one where he punches at your feet. They sped that up as if he didn't he needed more shit. King is a huge knowledge check in the game right next to Harain. He's very annoying to deal with, very hard to hit. Jaguar step, Jaguar backdash, Jaguar sprint. Anything with fucking Jaguar in it is just annoying to fucking deal with, dude. Why is a 6'5" fucking cat so hard to hit right now, bro? But nonetheless, still in my top 10. Um, who are we missing? Fangway, duh. Fangway. Ping, ping, ping. Fangway has everything you need. Jack of all trades, master of none. He's everything you need right now, right? Now they did nerf a lot of his lows. His lows are like launch punishable now. Before they were like minus 14, 13 and stuff like that. His Pokemon was way too good, so they ended up nerfing his lows a little bit more. He still has access to down 4-3, which is a mid safe normal hit launcher, by the way. In Heat, he still has access to his dumb bullshit AOE attack. He still has everything. He's just a little bit more toned down. He has a leash around his neck that's maintainable if you know the matchup, right? Not even know the matchup. If you just guess right against Fangway, he still has a 19 frame unseeable load that launches. He still has everything that he has. He's just a more unsafer now, right? Which how he always should have been. He still has amazing poking, amazing down for one. Don't trade with him, by the way. Crazy damage still. It's not as good as it was, but he still hits like a fucking truck. He's just a really good staple for Tekken 8, right? He still plays Tekken 8 very well, which is the reason why I'm giving him the top of S minus tier. Okay. Um Zafina. Sorry. Zafina. Oh, hold on, brother. I'm fucking a lot of shit up right now. Yoshimitsu, Brian. Do I want Yoshimitsu there? Yeah, let's keep it there. Zafina. Where do I start with this character? Season 1, Zafina was arguably the worst character in the game, depending on who you asked. And in season 2, they gave her a fucking install for some reason. Now she's one of the more hard hitting, not damage wise, but you can't touch her. Because once she has an install up, she now has access to a plus on block armor like Armor King does. It's very hard to hit her. Then she has this fucking insane ass move where the claw comes out, Azale comes out and she like swipes literally half the fucking screen. They nerfed it. They nerfed the tracking and the range on it, but even still, it still has very good tracking and very good range for what it is, right? Safe on block. You wall splats, by the way. It's just so fucking dumb that they would give this to her. So dumb that they would give this to her. They made the fucking claw slam safe on block. They made it to where you gain more health or you use less health whenever you use Azale's hand and shit like that. It's just so annoying what they did with this character. It's so annoying to play against a Zafina that's just playing like this keep away, but her keep away is the offense, right? It's very oppressive keep away, and it's very annoying. I do not like it. And even when it's nerfed, it's still very annoying to do with her. Heat smash goes fucking far. It's insane. Her damage is surprisingly not bad, but even still, though, that's the reason why she's still at the spot. But before, at the beginning of season 2, I would put Zafina up here. She was amazing, right? But as of right now, I have Zafina in S minus, which I think she definitely deserves this spot still. Kazuya, arguably the best Mishima in the game right now. No, fuck that. He is the best Mishima in the game right now. Still has everything. Twin Pistons is still safe. He's still obviously the 1-1-2, the Mishima staple, best Punisher in the game, or the best 10 frame in the game. I wouldn't say best 10 frame in the game. I'm going to get to who that is in a second. Season 2 did him a lot of justice. Did him a lot of justice. They now gave him a homing, even though that was one of his weaknesses. He still has access to a homing wall splatting mid that he can go into stance from, which is fucking stupid. But you know, I'm not the creators of this shit. I just think it was very stupid for them to do that. He still plays Tekken. He still has access to CD1+2. He still has access to down back 4, which is one of the best lows in the game, +5. You got to guess again with the Mishima in front of your fucking face. And all these guys are like, oh, Kazi is hard to play. No, he's not. I've seen plenty of people get to fucking Tekken Emperor without using not one electric. Y'all watch too much Main Man, dude. Kazuya is, I wouldn't say he's easy, but he's definitely one of the ones that can get the Tekken King fairly easily with just using 1-1, down 4-1, and a few other moves. 4-4-2. He has the best 4-4-2 out of all the Mishimas. Whatever. That's not, whatever. Next character. He deserves this spot for a reason. Okay. Next one I want to put here is Leo. Now, in season 1, Leo was around here. Okay. Season 2 changed him significantly, dude. At the beginning of season 2, Leo was arguably top 5. You could even debate that if you wanted to, depending on who you ask. He could loop a situation over and over again. Mind you, this was my main before. He still is my main, but right now I'm playing another character which I'll get to in a little bit. But Leo could loop a situation in season 2 where he would force you into K stance, which he still can do till this day, which is fucked up. Force you into K. They gave him access to K 1-4, which can transition to box stance. Box stance will give him access to Bach 3, which is the homing high kick that wall slumped you, and he was plus 21. And he could loop this situation over and over and over again to the point where they got rid of all wall slumps in the game. He was the main reason why they got rid of wall slumps, him and Jin, right? Because people just constantly get wall slumped by Leo and Jin every time. You couldn't do anything. You literally had to sit there and block them. And God forbid that you duck Leo because he had the second option that was safe, that was a mid, which is 1K and K 1-2. And it heat engaged you for a launcher if you got counter hit. Insane. Season 2.5, they nerfed him a lot. They also gave him access to Bach 3+4, which is the low that tracks very well. It was +5, but it got nerfed to +2. But I still think that low makes him really, really annoying right now, right? Because he already has safe low profiling launchers that are safe regular hit launchers. And then they just gave him a low out of that stance, which is box stance. Stupid. Now, the reason why I have him here is because most people don't play Leo as he should be played. Not should be played, because you can play Leo multitudes of ways. But how I play Leo is the very aggressive, tricky type. I constantly force you into K and K until you are forced to interact with me, which is fucked up. If you play Leo like that, he's in my top 10. Being able to force somebody in a homing, well, not necessarily homing, but it tracks very well because it auto realigns if you cancel it. I cancel K and K, put you into another +9 again to force you to play rock, paper, scissors with me. And the moment you start playing rock, paper, scissors with me, you still lose. If you don't interact with Leo, you will lose every time. I promise you. I promise you, you will lose every time. You have to interact with Leo. You have to. But since most people don't play him that way, this is where I would put him. He's still a very good staple for the game. Very, very scary at the wall. He has really good lows now to threaten the rock, paper, scissors even more. Amazing wall carry, probably second to none next to Lars. And then he just does amazing damage. He's still one of our hardest hitters in the game. Even though they nerfed his damage, he still can hit you with 99 plus damage. If he just hits you with a regular down for it too, it's insane. He will always get you to the wall. Some of the best wall game in the game. He just wall splats you with everything. But again, the reason why I have him here, still very high on the list. Actually, I think he's better than Zafina. I have him here is because most people that play Leo, even though he's already a rare character, most people don't play him as he should, or as I play him, or Ao Richie, or the even the Leo player that Ninja Killer went up against in the tournament that he just won. That Leo player was absolutely sick. The only reason why it didn't really work out because Ninja Killer's defense is amazing. You can see he was also using K and K cancels a lot too, right? Especially in his combos to get maximum wall travel. And he was also doing it in some of his strings to get Leo or to get Ninja Killer to force a 50-50 situation, right? It's fucked up. But that's the reason why I have Leo here. Again, if you play him like I do or Ao Richie does, he's here. If we just play him like the slow, he's still a really good character. Okay. Next, I have who do I want to put next? Let's do Dragunov. Sure. Let's do Dragunov. Actually, let's do that. Yeah, I think that looks good. What the fuck? Hey, get off my screen, cup. Dragunov is he kind of fell off a little bit. He's still in a good spot, but he fell off a lot. Going from arguably top one to here is not a good look for Dragunov, but still a good spot. They got rid of a lot of his shit, especially the sneak three. Hurt was it sneak three or sneak four? The plus on block, force crouch, wall splatting, heat engager, and it hit ground. One of the best moves in the game before they nerfed the absolute shit out of it. They nerfed the damage. It's not as plus as it was. It no longer hits grounded. It no longer wall splats. They just got rid of everything. And in compensating, they gave him the fucking bullshit roll. Like, come on now, dude. Even though he's still good, they nerfed his damage. They nerfed a lot of shit on him. He still has access to one of the best 10 frame counter hits in the game. He still has a 13 frame heat engager that launches. He's the only one that has that. But nonetheless, Dragunov is still a good staple to for a pick. Okay, even though you see most Dragunov mains drop him for that reasoning. Okay, since he's in front, fuck it, Jin. Now, it feels very weird putting Jin here because he was also one of the uncrowned kings of season one until they discovered his 2-1-4 and his down two. But then they got rid of all of that shit, dude. They got rid of the 2-1-4 string. They made it to where it's unsafer even if you stagger the 2-1, and they made it -10 to where you commit to the full string. And against certain character who has really good 10 framers like Jun or Asha Senna that can and Harang, fucking Lee, these characters that can do fucking Heihachi with 10 frame wall splats or puts them in a really good situation. it can be detrimental if you use that 2-1-4 string now. And they nerfed the absolute shit out of it. Down two, which was one of the reasons why he was up here in season one. He was very solid, arguably up here with the top tiers. Bars, they got rid of everything for Jin, man. Everything. They took away his down two. They took away the counter hit properties. They took away the startup. They took away the homing ability. They took away everything from this man. Everything. And then for compensation, they gave him the full crouch four. Come on, dude. Really? They nerfed a lot of his damage. He's just not where he used to be. Still a good staple, but just not where he used to be at. You know, it's very hard to use 2-1 and down two whenever you have characters like Leo that still has his, or you still have characters like Yoshimitsu who still has his. You know what I mean? It's very frustrating to deal with. You know what I mean? So I would put Jen right here. I think that's a good spot. You could probably do something like this, but as of right now, I think these characters, like once you meet, I would say, let's do this actually. Once you meet here, like once you meet Raven, all these characters from Raven and before can compete with the top tiers. Relatively relatively fair. Okay, once you hit Dragonoff, it's going to be a little bit hard for you to compete against the rest of the cast. Like from Dragonoff and behind, is going to be harder to compete with the top tiers with characters like that. They just have to try a bit harder, right? Um. All right, hear me out on this one. You ready? I know. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fuck 'em wrong. Now, Fuck 'em wrong was a great addition to Tekken 8, even though he's a reused DLC. But we're not going to talk about that. Fucking Wrong was a really good staple. Everybody had amazing praise. They had nothing but good things to say about Fucking Wrong. Even though when they saw Tekken Talk, they saw the bullshit he can do. It was like, mm. But then everybody got their hands on him, and Fucking Wrong was actually really good. Again, same thing that I said with Lily. If Fucking Wrong was the best character in the game, this game would be amazing to play right now. But it's not, sadly. The reason why fucking Rome is down here is because he plays regular Tekken. If it ends in a high, you can duck it and it's probably safe. But if it ends in the mid, I can punish you for it, right? He has too many of those strengths. Now, what he does have that's really good is like whenever he enters Garuda or Guillotine, the install he has, right? His follow ups are really good. Like whenever he knocks you down off certain moves, like when he used 442 and he gets right, he gets Garuda or Guillotine. I forgot what the buff is called to install. He has really good Oki situations, and the fact that he can transition into like making it from a high to a mid, great, amazing, amazing that he can do that, right? But nonetheless, he's still a good buttons. His lows are really fucking good. You can counter hit by his lows because you thought it was your turn. He just plays, and also Mugo just won a tournament fucking wrong too. So that really puts a good thing on his name, right? Right? People thought he couldn't do it because he was around like low mid tier, and he still won a tournament with fucking wrong. Very nice against low high of all people, by the way. And he's just too. I wouldn't say necessarily risky, but again, you have to risk with the highs, duckable, etc., and all this other stuff like that. His wall carry is pretty decent. His damage is around a little bit above average. Wouldn't say that. Or wouldn't say that. His damage is a little bit above average, but it's just more you have to take certain risks in order to make Falcon Wrong thrive a bit, right? Now, when he has Garuda or Guillotine, I forget which one it is, uh, the install, he becomes a little bit better because now you have to guess between all this other bullshit, right? But I want to compare him to another character that I have literally right above him, Ashasena. Ashasena is just a better version of Falcon Wrong. They can both transition. They're both very like tricky, sort of tricky. Austin is definitely a tricky character, right? She can transition her buttons into from highs and make them mids. So can Fulcrum Rom, right? Fulcrum Rom can transition from making it a high into a mid, or vice versa, right? Or making it into a low. But Asha Senna can take that and take it a step even further. She don't necessarily even have to commit to it. Right? She can just outright make it a high, a plus on block high. She can make it a safe mid. She can complete with the string, or she can just outright not do the string at all. You'll see her do the string, and you'll think she's going to commit to the whole thing, and she'll just outright stop in the middle of it just to get you to bite. Fucking Rom does not have that property. That's the main thing why you would play Fucking Rom, right? Asha Senna is right there. Now you could do this if you want to, but right now my main is Asha Senna. I want to get the aspect of Tekken. I want to grab the aspect of Tekken because right now I've been playing Leo for so long. Season 2 more specifically. I've been playing Leo since season 1, since Tekken 8 came out. I've been playing Leo. But once season 2 came out, I became a little bit more brain dead because I could loop the situations over and over again and force them to a 50-50. So I decided to make it a little bit harder for myself and get better at the game, give myself a little bit more knowledge by picking up Asha Senna. And Asha Senna is she was in season 1 one of the uncrowned queens of the game. In the beginning, she was arguably top 1, top 3 at best. She was amazing. Poking was amazing. Running 2-3 was a nightmare to deal with. Down 4-1-4 was a nightmare to deal with. Down 1+2 was a nightmare to deal with. She had really good lows, safe lows at that, that were borderline unlaunchable. You couldn't even punish her if she did back 3 and then turned around, right? You couldn't do much about it, right? And at the wall, her damage was insane. Now they did nerf the absolute shit out of her, but they also gave some things to her in season 2, from lip stance, right? They gave her a better punisher from lip stance whenever she's crouching in a 12 framer or 11 framer. 4-1, you hold 4, she enters lip stance. Cool, great, like it. Uh, they also gave her the running 2 into lip stance if you hold 4, but they did nerf it. It was +5, now it's +3. But she can still get something from it because she has an auto parry built into lip stance. If you hit her with a high, she parries it. If you hit her with a low, she parries it, right? So that 13 frame high becomes a very good staple because, well, you can't really jab her, so you have to do it with the mid, right? Um, Still very hard to play. Her damage is very lackluster. I would say she's the softest hitter in the game right now. But if you can make her work, you can make Asha Center work. Okay, you can definitely make Asha Center work. She definitely has a lot more tools up her sleeve than people would think. You really have to play her as the tricky type right now. Her game plan is still the same. She still has access to safe launches, very safe lows. She has really good poking that could you could play 50-50 with the down 4-1-4-1 with the counter hit. If they try to duck it, you can go into back turn stance and go under it, go over the lows if you want to. You can transition that high into a mid, or you can just outright cancel it. You can do so much stuff with Asha Senna that Falcon Rom cannot do, which is the reason why I have Asha Senna in front of Falcon Rom. These two are the exact same character. Asha Senna just does their job better, which are the faint bullshit, right? Transitioning from all type of bullshit. I already say what I said, but next character. Nonetheless, they're still here in the bottom half, right? Or less than the bottom half at least. Another one, Lee. Lee is Lee is good. The Lee players are going to be happy with this placement. At least I believe they're going to be happy with this placement. Lee is very annoying to deal with because of how hard he is to hit. Down 3, 10 frame wall splatter, 10 frame uh counter hit wall splatter, right? Homing plus on block, counter hitting mids, all this safe down 42 that launches, all that, right? The reason why I have Lee down here is because the things that Lee has gotten in season 2, he was supposed to have in season 1. If you remember, season 1, Lee didn't have shit whenever he entered Heat. They got rid of all of Lee's shit. Lee was arguably the best defensive character in the game. Now that title goes to somebody else. I'm going to get to them next. They got rid of a bunch of shit that Lee had. So more specifically, Raw Rising 2-3. They made that a natural launcher, even though nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for it. Even though I believe most of the elite players, I asked one of the elite players, would they prefer to go back to the season one Raw Rising 2-3? They said yes, because that was the only way of going into heat, right? Raw Rising 2-3, they activate heat and they get the bound to insane damage. That's a nerf to Lee because they nerfed his damage across the board. If you got hit with that by Lee, you lost more than half of your health. No bullshit. He already had amazing wall travel, but not only that, they nerfed the fuck out of back four, which is arguably his best move. Nerfed the fuck out of back four, and that was his main defensive keep out tool. They nerfed it. 4-4-3. Nerfed the absolute shit out of it. They gave it less range and a smaller hitbox, which is weird why they would do that. I don't know why they would do that to a character that wasn't really. Lee was good. He was definitely good for the meta of the game because he played around that mid tier, which like he's not overly oppressive. He's still annoying to go up against, but he wasn't doing nothing crazy, and they still nerfed him for what? For what? You already took away one of his best launches to go into Heat, and then in season two, he still didn't have anything. It wasn't until like season 2.3 where they finally gave him into Heat. They gave him down 1+2 into Hitman, he's +5, and they gave him down 4, 3+4. If you do misstep, he's neutral, right? Are those moves good? Absolutely. But again, Lee is still playing season one because those moves they gave him in season two, he was supposed to have in season one. Now, if Lee had some shit in Heat in season one and then they gave him more shit in season two, Lee would be up here. Oh shit. Lee would be here. He would be up here probably. But as of right now, nothing really changed about Lee. Lee is still a very specific. You can't just pick up Lee and win. You have to be a Lee specialist. Leave it to the Lee specialist, like fighting GM. And in order for you to win with Lee, your opponent has to press into you. If he doesn't press into you, most of the time you will probably lose. Unless your name is Fighting GM or you're a Lee specialist. And you can work around those hard defensive characters or players. Right? Leave it to the Lee specialist. Stop thinking, oh, since he got this, I can do this with him. No. Leave it to the lead specialist. All right? Leave it to the lead specialist. They know what to do with the character. They know where their character stands. All right? Jun. Jun is fucking amazing right now. She's not overly crazy how she was in season two. In season two, she will probably be around here, give or take. They definitely toned her down, but even still, Jun is a pretty good staple. In season one, she was not great at all. She was not great at all. She was very, very passive outside of Heat Smash. But once they got rid of that, what did June have? Bars. You know what I'm saying? Now in season two, they gave her all type of stance. They made her into a stance character, basically. Right? So not only is Jun hard to hit, but now you can't stand still anymore against Jun because she can put you in the fucking blender and kill you. When she enters stance, the one when whenever she leans forward and she puts out her hand, she has access to the low, that wall splats, or the low that wall splats if you're at the right range, and you have access to the little high, the mid high heat engager, the kicks, right? When she gets up knee you and then she kicks you and then the heat engages you, right? It's a 13 framer. Cool. Right? And then they also gave her, she has the parry for 1+2 whenever she's in heat. It doesn't matter. You just throw out that move and it's a get off me tool. It counter hits you and she's into stance where she puts out her hands and she's like healing and she hits you with the Janigan. Janigan, that big ass beam of light and heat engage you or full out launch you. This character, once more, is hard to fucking hit because remember she was a defensive character before. Things like Can, things like her Sabaki parry. She still has access to these things, right? And not to mention, right now I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Jun is the hardest hitter in the game right now, dude. Once they gave her that new install. I don't think it's an install, but once you hit that little thing that they gave her to 100, she hits like a fucking truck just ran through your grandmother's house, dude. It's not even funny. Outside of Heihachi, dude, Jun will take 100. Jun will take she would do 100 damage minimum. Minimum. She already has good wall travel. Once that little ball hits 100 and you hear a little sting, it's over with if you get hit by jump. Safe launchers. Down 4-2, 1+2. A safe launcher for some fucking reason. Even though she's already offensive heavy. Can still a safe counter hit launcher. Or if you armor, say goodnight. Her wall ender. She does the hop kick. She does up 4-4-3, enters the stance, and she hits you with the Janikin, the big ass beam, and that hits you for a gazillion damage. Amazing character right now, dude. Amazing character. Similar, let's go for our next hard hitter, right? Should we go for our next hard hitter? Yeah, fuck it. Heihachi. He takes the place of Lee of being the best defensive character in the game right now. You cannot do anything against this man. You cannot run up on him because he will hit your ass with an electric. You can't really press too much because he has one of the best sabakis in the game. Bow! Crack your ass, right? He has some of the best keep out tools like down 4-4. I believe the big heavy kick. Yeah! Counter hits you, flumps you. And not to mention, if you get hit by Heihachi, you're eating a gazillion damage. Amazing wall travel. Most of his moves are safe, and some of the arguably the best punishment in the game. 10 frame wall splat punisher, 12 frame guarantee he hits you with the 2-3 with the headbutt. Bow! And then he gets the guaranteed stance into heat engager, right? He has the best he has punish for every situation. He can make it hurt. He will always make it hurt. Pause. Heihachi is a good staple for the game. Okay, I wouldn't say good staple for the game, but he's a good staple for Tekken 8, right? He's a good staple for Tekken 8. He plays Tekken 8 accordingly, even though he's not very offensive heavy until you enter fucking Warrior's Instinct. And then he has crazy lows, crazy launches from everywhere, crazy range. You just can't do anything once he pops that, right? But even still, he still has like the hell sweep low. If you eat the second version, he just completely launches you and is only -10 on block for some fucking reason. I don't know if they changed it or not, if he still has that, but that's what makes him very annoying. Next, Paul. Actually, let's do this. I'll put Paul here. I think I'm fine with Paul here. Paul is another. I still find Paul very annoying. I still find him very annoying, but he's still a good staple for Tekken 8. Right, one of the more generic characters. What makes him really good is the move where he fucking gut punch and then he goes into the sway and he can cancel and keep going back into it. That's what makes Paul really good. But a lot of Paul players are not utilizing. Most of the Paul players are for the newcomers because they want something that's easy, or they're just looking for a character that just looks cool and just Paul just be there and they just go for him for fucking 50-50 demo man and all that bullshit, whatever. But once you hit the high rankings, you have Pauls that's doing these cancels, and once they do that little sway back, that you have to guess, right? But the only reason why he's here is because again he's very basic. He's very 1-2-3. Okay, but nonetheless, he's still a really good staple for the game. I put him in A+ for a reason. Okay. Leroy. Whoa. Slow it down there, brother. Slow your roll. This ain't your bowl. Leroy. Another huge knowledge check. I put Leroy here because he's still, even if you learn the matchup, Leroy is still very rough to deal with. He's not overly rough to deal with, but still a decent knowledge check. He's a really good character. He has everything you need, very annoying lows, very like safe launchers and shit like that. He has punishment for everything. He can punish you for everything. Season 2 really amped him up with the machine gun punches, right? Giving him insane chip damage, which is he's the best at doing that. But not only that, all of his extensions that has the machine gun punches involved with them are now safe, which that should have been done the first time. He still has access to the cane, the low cane launcher. If he hits you, he still does heavy fucking damage. He's still one of our hardest hitters of the game too, right? I would say he's about like 7th place or something like that. He's definitely top 10 hardest hitters right now because everybody got nerfed for their damage, or probably top 15 if you wanted to say that, right? He definitely still hits hard if he hits you with certain launches like down forward, 2-1+2, stuff like that. Just overall, a solid character to pick. Um, just if a person knows the matchup, you'll probably struggle a little bit, but he still can play solid Tekken. Okay. All right. Oh, one more. Let's put Kuma here. No introduction for Kuma. We already know Kuma has always held this spot right here for like the high mid tier for a long time. They did get rid of some of his shit, but Kuma still stays Kuma. Okay. Now, I am going to do this because I generally don't fucking know, right? For these two characters right here. For one, Armor King has only been out for a couple of weeks now. A lot of people has gotten a grasp of where he might be. A lot of people say he might be like around here. Not worst character in the game, but like around where fucking Rom is at, which is good. Which is good. But I still haven't fought him enough. I know some of his things, but it's not enough to just completely put him to somebody or compare him to someone. So let's give him a little bit more time. And Panda, I don't even see this character at all, if I'm being honest with you. Borderline, one of the worst characters in the game, obviously. Um, it's to the point where even though I said Panda's name, you probably even forgot what this character even looked like, even though you know what a panda looks like. That's how least you see this character. You don't see this character at all. Okay. But Lydia. Lydia is also a good staple. Very another knowledge check of the game. In season two, oh my goodness, she was horrible to fight up against. Season two, Lydia was horrible to fight up against, but season 2.5 nerfed everybody to a leashable state, except for the top tiers up here, of course, obviously. You still have a lot of characters that can just do whatever the fuck they want. But Lydia was another one that got hit pretty hard. She got hit pretty hard. Whenever season two came out, she had some of the best damage in the game because she can literally wall splat you twice and get rid of your gray health. If you know what I'm talking about, she will wall splat you, use the move where she does like a little kick flip, and she will fucking palm your ass in the chest, and it will wall splat you again, and it will have this effect on the screen where it looked like an X-ray, and it got rid of your gray health, and she could still continually combo you and bound you even more. And it was insane because she got like 110 damage off that shit, and then they got rid of it, right? Or at least they took the damage away from it and shit like that, right? But now she can't just access stance for free. You have to actually counter your opponent's defense instead of just outright them having to guess, right? Outside of her being in heat, of course, right? Whenever she does the running palm, you can't just automatically have them guess every time. So if they can jab check you, so Lydia has to commit to the minus to the launchable low. That's the only way she can actually counter you in certain situations like that. But it's too risky for Lydia to go for something like that. So she always does like the running button, the fist that puts it to stance, and she like jumps back or something like that, right? To kind of see what you would do. So Lydia has to play it a lot more safer. She can't just go unga bunga crayon eating type shit, right? So that's why I have Lydia here. I would put her above Lily, but I think Lily is a little bit. I think Lily would be a good staple for where the meta is, or not the meta, but what the meta should be. And Lydia follows right behind there, right? Again, Lydia is a hard fucking knowledge check, but once you learn it, you would understand how Lydia works. All right, hear me out. I saved this character specifically for last. Okay. All right. Hear me out. You ready for this? Psych. One of the worst characters in the game. One of the worst characters in the game. Hear me out. I believe Lin Xiaoyu is the worst character in the game. Her and Devil Jin are like neck and neck. You could do this if you want to. I wouldn't be mad at you. But the only reason why I'm doing this is because at least Devil Jin has a 50-50. He can force a 50-50 upon you, right? That's the only reason why I'm doing this. Season one, Lin Xiaoyu was annoying as fuck to deal with. She had the best evasion and defense in the game, but also you could not hit her because of the evasion, but you also couldn't stand still for too long because she would just absolutely destroy you in season one. Hypnotist stance was annoying to deal with. She had ways to go into hypnotist stance and absolutely guarantee a mix up from there. Hypnotist stance is the one where she starts walking and she has the wind that start to pass her. The more steps Ling Xiao you take, the more her buff would increase. She would enter level 2 where she gets access to the launchable low. She still has access to the low, but once she hits level 2, it now becomes launchable, so you have to watch out. Once she's in heat, she becomes even more dangerous because now she has to take less steps in order for her to reach level 2. Once she hits that second step, she now has reached the level 2 state where she can absolutely destroy you with that low. And then they got rid of everything from Ling Xiaoyu. Season 2.5, they got rid of everything. Everything. Her damage, gone. AOP, nerfed. AOP duck, nerfed. Hypnotist stance, nerfed. All of her things that brought her into stance, nerfed. All of her running moves, nerfed. Everything got hit. Wall damage, nerfed. Damage, nerfed. Took away some of her best wall enders, nerfed. Gone. Got rid of it. Everything is done. Don't have anything anymore. What does Leo? What does Ling Xiaoyu have to do now? Anytime Ling Xiaoyu, that's why you always see these Ling Xiaoyu players like fucking spinning around in neutral, rolling around like fucking back turn stance, and they're like rolling towards you and shit like that. It's because they're hoping, they're praying to God that you press a button that's either a high or a fucking low. They're hoping you would do that. It's because now she only has to rely on her defense now. Whenever Ling Xiaoyu does certain, she does like 4-2. 4-2 is the little hand swipe where she enters back turn stance. If she stays in that stance for too long, Ling Xiaoyu gets launched. She has no access to 50-50s anymore because they nerfed the frames on it now, right? So you try to jab check Ling Xiaoyu, you still can't because, well, she's rolling on the ground, right? Hoping that you whip something. But now she does this little heel kick, huh? Right? Little small little mid kick. If she's -6, -5, Ling Xiaoyu has to back away or she gets launched. So now she's playing this game of cat and mouse. Spoiler alert, she's the mouse, right? Ling Xiaoyu has to fish for some sort of launch. Or she has to heavily commit for something very unsafe and stupid, like these low elo Ling Xiaoyu players do. They roll on the ground, just hit you with the fucking heel kick, and then you block it. And they wonder like, oh, why my shit ain't working? They have to hope that you press against them. She has no more plus frames into bullshit stance, casino 50-50 bullshit. Even in heat, they nerfed her hypnotist 3, which is the low. They nerfed it to all versions of -13. So it doesn't even matter how long Ling Xiaoyu holds it. But again, she's now the passive one in Tekken 8. Fucking Jun in season 1, once they got rid of her tracking homing heat smash, she was the most passive character in the game. She had nothing. Now it's Ling Xiaoyu's turn. There is nothing Ling Xiaoyu can do. At least Devil Jin, they're around neck and neck. At least Devil Jin can force a 50-50 upon you whenever he's in your face, right? At least he can apply his homing, and then they gave him like a good mid now. His mid is now a natural hit wall splatter, right? It's still bad because his tracking is very linear, but at least he has something. Ling Xiaoyu doesn't have anything. I just want you guys to play Ling Xiaoyu and try to get her to Tekken Emperor, Tekken God if you can. And I promise you, you would have a rough time because you have all these characters like Lars doing all this neutral skip, plus on block, eat my 50-50 bullshit. You have Claudio who has install that just runs up and does the fucking DP. You have characters like fucking Jaguar. You have characters like King who's just hitting you with fucking Jaguar sprints and hitting you with an unseeable 50-50 from fucking Giant Swing or fucking a Shining Wizard. You have fucking characters like fucking Law who gets an unhealthy amount of nunchuck swings. You have characters like Harang, fucking Anna, Brian. All these characters appear. Leo, who can force you into a 50-50, skip neutral, bullshit. And then you have Ling Xiaoyu. She needs for you to whip something. But once you hit those high rankings, what do? You don't have access to any 50-50s. You don't have access to any neutral skip tools. All you have is just regular defense. That's it. Ordinary defense because they nerfed the fuck out of your AOP. You still have good evasion, but you can only rely on that so much. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was my tier list. I hope you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you disagree, let me hear it. Except for you crayon eating motherfuckers, because you bitches always got some shit to say. You goddamn train track rock eaters. Get your ass off my